Hi, everyone. It is a pleasure to be with us tonight. Be here tonight. This is Star, and welcome to the Magical Witchy World TV.
And I am Rhonda Allen. Welcome back. Happy Friday, everyone.
Yeah.
And now to introduce you to our guest for this week.
Mika.
It's a magical, witchy world. It's a magical, witchy world.
Woohoo!
Welcome.
Hey
Welcome,
guys,
Micah.
Good to
It
have
is
to have you here with us
awesome.
tonight.
I'm so happy to be here and chatting with you ladies tonight.
Yeah, absolutely welcoming.
Thank
I
you.
am excited to have you. We are so excited to have you, Micah. As we like to do, so Micah Brindlewolf Grant, we would like to introduce you to all who are watching live or watching on playback. First, we go through your bio. So give
All
us a
right.
little, because I have a bit of a story to tell. So Micah's story is one of becoming. The first instance of connection happened the night his grandmother passed away. She came to him in a dream and said goodbye. When he was told the next morning that she had passed, he simply replied, I know. At the time, he didn't tell anyone about the dream because he didn't think anyone would believe him. Throughout most of his childhood, he spent most of his time alone, not like the others and a bit of an outcast, which has been an interesting journey to move through. Always the performer, though. Instead of using the unique gifts and talents to help, they were used to gain attention. Always seemed that this was the way to get noticed. It took a long time for him to realize that just being himself was enough. In college, he had an encounter with a spirit that wound up being channeled by a friend. This is when Micah was born. The spirit called him that name, and wanting to be someone else, he asked how it was spelled. And now, almost 40 years later, it's the name that most people know him by. That encounter opened doors that Micah hadn't dreamed of, but it gave him purpose. Fast forward many years, and Brindlewolf Untriggered was born, a heightened awareness coaching where he would use all of his talents: energy reading, healing, tarot, oracle readings, intuitive readings, and understanding of thought being at the center of all experiences and the four agreements that we all make in life. Like an arrow, he points to what people need to see or hear. He also has three weekly podcasts: The Messengers with Lunaria and Brindlewolf, which is music combined with messages and readings; Brindle's Vision, which is music and more messages from the Alpha; Phoenix Talks with Reverend Diane, which is organic conversations about a single topic. He also has a private Facebook group called Evolve and Emerge, which is the hub of Untriggered. He offers readings, coaching sessions for any budget. All right. He also has a bi-weekly membership Zoom meeting called Risers in Flight, with where members of Evolve and Emerge can have direct access to talk about whatever is going on with them. And his mission is to help professionals dealing with burnout, the aches of people pleasing, and the mountains of should that people find themselves under from emotional triggers of the past to rise like the phoenix into who they are. And we will be scrolling the ways to meet up with Micah. We'll be scrolling not just his Facebook group, but also what was the other one?
The
The
website.
website.
The website. That's right, the
Yes.
website. So we'll have both that we'll be scrolling tonight. Micah, thank you so much for
Yes.
Thank
joining us.
you.
Yes.
And
Great
thanks
to
for
have you
sharing
here.
that story.
So I'm going to start off with the first question.
Okay.
And this one is kind of, we do that because we want to see where people are now and where they began. Because a lot of people kind of went through an arc of what they called themselves, not what other people call them, but what they referred to themselves as, whether they were pagan or neo pagan or Wiccan or a witch or a warlock, whatever it is, and the different scenarios of that, and then where are you now and what you calling yourself or referring to yourself as?
That's an interesting question because I'm a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Mhm.
When in the story of becoming that she had to,
Yeah.
condense for
Yes.
time, there was a lot of mishaps and dabbling, which led to many shutdowns because it just did too much damage and things weren't going the way that they should. And then I had a mentor that I met back in 2011, and she helped open doors again that really pushed me towards more of a spiritual type of focus.
Mm.
And it's all been self-led. I haven't really I was raised and recovering Roman Catholic. And I remember as a
Yes.
child loving to go to church and loving the community and just loving the energy that was in that community. And then that went awry too. So then I started
Mhm.
recovering from that many years later. I don't consider myself Christian. I don't consider myself pagan. I something else
Okay.
that is
Mhm.
really
Mhm.
left undefined,
Okay.
because a lot of times I find that labels come with rules that a lot of people don't resonate with.
Mm.
That's
Okay.
very true. That is very true. It
Well,
can lead people to have a
it's
misunderstanding, or they have a
yeah,
conception of what it means. Like when I
yeah,
tell
Right.
people that, I'm pagan or I'm a witch or what have you, they have a conception of what that means. Ergo, part of the
Exactly.
reason Star and I have this show is like we're trying to show that there's such a breadth of
oh,
people who work in this
yeah,
area that we're in.
Hmm. I
yeah,
mean, I have connections with spirit. I have connections with spirit guides. I have connections with source. I have connections that are galactic that I
right,
don't typically talk about, but I do have all of these connections.
right.
And if I had to put a label on it, I'm a catalyst.
Mm,
Okay.
I
All
like
right.
that.
Sounds
Hmm.
good. Sounds good. But
Yeah.
then again, you see, that's the thing. I guess in the sense of what you're saying, when you're giving anything a label, people will be like, okay, so what's that? Or have a concept or misconception of it or whatever.
Hmm.
I think I'm just reached that stage in my life where I'm going to just say what I am. And however they take it, I really don't care. And I walk away. They can think whatever they want because that's their. I'm like, you can Google that shit now. So
Yeah.
you can Google it and do it yourself with your own mindset, then I have nothing to explain and I walk away. I
Yes.
really don't care.
Yes.
But long ago, I have to admit, when you're younger, and at first, when you first come into it, you want to explain to people. I don't even do it. I don't care. I,
I I I,
I'm like,
I
this
hear.
is what I am. You don't know it. Or, we understand that you're a Catholic or whatever, so you should take the time and get to know who we are too without us having to explain to you. So I'm done.
100%. 100%. I mean, in all honesty, it doesn't matter what you believe, what you practice, it's all going to the same place. It's all pointing into the same direction.
Mhm.
And
Well
when there is
said.
that understanding and when there is that respect, that is mutual. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what the
Yeah.
belief is.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
I
Sounds
honor them all.
so
As
okay.
long
So
as you're walking your
as a
talk
catalyst,
and
I will
doing.
I will refer to you as that catalyst throughout. Okay.
Okay.
Right
Okay.
on.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay.
So, and we so coming to our next question now, we did learn a little bit, and again, yes, I did condense your bio down.
Sorry, it
Having
was so
said
long.
no, no, but it's great. It's great to learn the story, and that's we want to discuss and learn, you know, with you your journey. Um, So to that end, when we talk about you had that experience where you had the dream and you learned of your grandmother, transitioning, moving
Hmm.
on
Hmm.
and passing. Um, and then there were so many other experiences that you went through. Tell us what brought you to where you are now, like the journey. What brought you to saying, okay, this is something I should be paying attention to and that I have questions. So then you started walking down this path. What really triggered it where you said, I don't want to dismiss this?
when it was so obvious that I couldn't. When the intuition was, I was hearing things and knowing things that I really shouldn't. They hadn't been told to me by any singular person. It was just information that was coming through, and I was tripping over and telling people this and that and the other thing. And oh my God, I'm seeing this over here. And
Right.
the night of the name change, I remember it quite well because I was standing on a street corner and I was looking at the house that that me and my friends were visiting.
Yeah.
And in the window, I could see a spirit. And that was really when it started to shift. Now, do I always see spirits? No. And this is
Right.
why I have so much trouble just labeling myself into one practice, because sometimes I see spirits, sometimes I hear them, sometimes I hear the guides, sometimes I just know, sometimes I see energies, sometimes I don't. It is really all dependent on what, like I said, what the catalyst needs to be. And
Right.
just learning to allow that to come through. My first deck wasn't purchased until 98.
Okay.
Right on. So, well,
Okay.
Star.
All right. So I will take it just a little bit further since I didn't read the whole bio before she condensed it or anything like that. So
Okay.
I'm pulling from what we asked all together.
Go
So
ahead.
again, I guess kind of like doing what other people will do, the mundanes or whatever, they will say, so a catalyst, huh? So what does it mean to you to be that catalyst? What does it mean exactly?
It means that when there's a change that needs to happen, I will say something, I will notice something, I'll feel something from that person. Rhonda has seen this happen firsthand in a conversation that she overheard. I remember that conversation.
Yep.
But there will be something that is underlying that the person has ignored, that needs to be addressed, that needs to change. And then there are times that it could just be at random in a public setting that I will be triggered myself to say or do something that creates the change that needs to happen
Right.
for things to get better.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds good.
That's a lot of work.
And
And
it's
I
not
mean,
fun all the time.
exactly. That's what I was going to say about it being a lot of that there's work in that. It's
Yeah.
not exactly an easy road, quote
No,
unquote.
no.
Um, so tell us about how you incorporate or how is this okay, because you have obviously you have the programs that you run, you have the communities, the groups that you're working with. Tell us about how now the work that you do fits into your everyday, into your day-to-day living.
My goodness. I have so many
Yeah.
groups right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm co-founder of a private radio station called RISE, which stands for Radio Inspiring Singers Everywhere. And that was created. We're about to hit our 1-year anniversary since it was created with Lunaria. And I spend a lot of time there.
Yes.
All three shows all three of my podcasts are run through there. And then there's a series of other ones. So a typical day involves me checking in on them, submitting music, singing music myself, getting the shows together, making sure that the community is safe, because I don't tolerate bullies and I see them to the door immediately if there is any.
Right on.
Because my community is going to remain safe if it can. Evolve and Emerge, I check in about once a day, try to anyway,
Right.
and give some type of inspirational post. And it's literally most of my days, the mornings are when I do my work. And then the afternoons, I prepare for the other income while the clients are being fed.
Right
Yeah.
on. Excellent, excellent. So the work that you do, and I say the work that you do, so it's tending to tending to the programming, etc. And in your personal practice, taking it now a layer deeper in your personal practice. Is there anything in particular that you do daily or weekly or whatever that you do just for you, Micah?
I start off every day
Hmm.
thanking the day, thanking for the gift of the day,
Right
because it's
on.
not
Yeah.
promised.
Right on. Yes.
I began journaling earlier this year, which has
Hmm.
become a daily practice. And I write down a minimum of 3 things. And for a while, I was starting to get a little mental because I was writing the same 3 things every day. And it's like, hey, aren't you grateful for anything else? So
Right.
I started to should on myself about that.
Mm.
And I was like, boy, stop it, stop it. It's okay. Think it, what are you grateful for? Write it down.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it goes up to 6, but I make sure that I try and take the time to put pen to paper and write down what it is that I'm grateful for every day. And then I stop and think, okay, what vibe do I want today?
That's a good question.
Very-
And sometimes I want the vibe of presence. Sometimes I want the vibe of self-respect or
Mhm.
self-preservation
Yeah.
or motivation, whatever the case is. And
Yeah.
then I pull one of my decks and I'm like, okay, guys, what do you want to tell me today that I didn't hear yesterday?
Right
Then,
on.
Consulting kind of a thing.
right? And
Right.
then I
Good.
take
Yeah.
that same reading, and this
Hmm.
is where it can get a lot of fun for a lot of people, especially if they want to be able to hear the words back to them. I throw it in my chat GPT.
Ha!
Mm. Okay, that could be interesting too.
That is really interesting. I'm just going to put a small aside for anybody who is a card geek who follows Mary Kay Greer. She's doing so much right now with any of the AI programs. She runs several and she's working with the cards and tarot and through AI. It's amazing. So you take your reading and throw it into Chat GPT. That's an interesting topic.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that
Right.
another time. But
Yeah.
Star.
So
We could go on for a while about that.
Oh my
yeah, yeah,
God,
yeah.
yes.
So tell us a little bit what's become very important to you right now.
What's important to me right now?
Hmm.
Showing up.
There you go. Okay.
Right on.
Being front and center present.
Oof.
Okay, sounds good.
Did you feel that? Because I sent it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, yes. That was good. That that's so I'm gonna say thank you for saying that
Yes.
because honestly, today has been one of those days where I was sitting back. I'm so
Me
exhausted.
too.
I
Yeah.
literally woke up with the refrain. And I wrote it down, and of course now I can't remember where I wrote it. But in any case, it's just I'm at the point where I'm tired.
Yeah.
So
Exhausted me.
yeah, showing up. Exhausting,
Yeah.
Right.
exactly. So showing up, that's
I
important.
mean,
Right on.
I've spent
Um,
far too much time
mm,
chasing people. And I made the decision. I'm going to stop chasing people. And I'm just
thank
going
you.
to show up.
Yeah. There
And
you
those
go.
who align with
Right
me,
on.
they'll show up. Those who resonate with what I say, they'll show up.
Yeah.
And I'm just going
Mhm,
to be
mhm.
me. I'm going to say what I need to say.
Right. And que sera, sera.
Mm,
We know where the exits are.
that's
We know where
right.
the exits are. We don't need the
That's
stewardesses to tell us.
exactly, exactly. Fabulous. So tell us a little bit about your work with community. You've already told us already that you have these groups that you've created. Tell us a bit more about what that work is.
That work is, it's all virtual. I don't get
Mhm.
out a whole
Mhm.
lot into the real world community because I do spend a lot of virtual time with Rise and
Mhm.
with Evolve and Emerge. Um, so a couple years ago, I was invited to join a different radio station, and I made a lot of friends and sang with a lot of people. And I noticed that there was a problem going on, and it was
Mm.
people were not taking care of other people,
Mm.
and it was
Mm.
affecting me deeply, and Lunaria as well. So she and I made the decision that we were going to leave that radio station and we were going to start our own,
Mm.
where people
Mm.
could come in and they could feel safe. And the Messengers had already been born at that point. Messengers has been around for almost about 2 years now.
Wow. Right on.
and we brought that with us, and that's kind of the center focus for me for the radio station. I mean,
Mm.
a lot of people are still warming up to it because woo woo, but
Yes.
the more they
Yes.
get to know me
Yes.
and they give it a shot, some people who come in, they are very Christian and got their first reading and they're like, huh?
Yes. That's fabulous.
And
They're being introduced to something
so
different.
I want a community that respects each other, and that it really does. And people look out for each
Yes.
other, and I love being able to
Yes.
sit back and watch them grow. And that's one thing I love doing is seeing people grow.
Right.
I have witnessed people who used to sing off key just grow and blossom and give
Right.
you goosebumps because they're hitting the notes so well.
Awesome. Awesome.
That is fabulous.
So and
Great
this
to
is the
see
type
things
of
accomplished.
community that we have.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see growth when right in front of you, almost like, morphing. That's
Mm-hmm.
excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So, what would you like to see us as, I don't know, a magical community, a community in general accomplish, that you don't see us accomplishing? And I think you kind of answered some of that with what you just said, part of that, but maybe you can embellish a little bit more. Like when you mentioned taking care of one another and allowing growth. I think that's part of it, maybe. I don't know. But,
Mm.
what would you like to see us do and accomplish?
Working magic together.
Mm. That is
That's
that
a
has
lot bigger than we
yeah.
think.
Yes, it's a huge
It is a
hurdle
very
because
huge hurdle because there's a lot of belief systems that do clash in how the magic is worked and how it's brought
right.
in. But if you think back
Right.
to Native American tribes, how many different clans all had a singular leader that would go and meet up with a ring of leaders with their own individual beliefs and their own individual ways of working. And then they would gather in these circles and they
Mhm.
would work together
Yeah.
for the same common goal.
Interestingly enough, where Riches Fest happens in Astor Place, historically that was one of those meeting places. It's amazing how things
Yeah. Yeah.
happen, right?
Goodness
And no
gracious.
There are no
accidents.
accidents.
No
There are
accidents.
no accidents.
No accidents. Yep.
And just to love each other. I
Yeah.
mean, no one's magic is greater than somebody else's. It's just like no one's abilities and gifts, no matter how mundane they appear, are.
Mhm.
They're all equal because they're all important to everything because we're all connected anyway, right?
Right.
And
Right
once
on.
we realize that, then the backstabbing and all of the curses and hexes on each other will start to fade away.
I don't see, honestly,
That
I'll
would
tell you, I don't run into a lot of it anymore.
It,
Again, maybe
yeah,
because I've reached that stage. I think it's because also that I've reached that stage. I think as we get older, we kind of
Mhm.
basically say, excuse my language, but fuck it. I don't kick
oh yeah.
rocks. Whatever it is that you got going, I really
Don't
don't
need
give
to
a shit.
excuse that. Yes.
I'm don't give a shit. Walk away. Take your ego and go somewhere else with it or whatever it is. And I walk away and either they deal with it and come together or I don't kick
Yeah.
rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, kick
Kick
rocks.
rocks, touch
We
grass.
used
Come
to
on.
Yep.
hold on to that a lot when we were younger and kind of try to solve everything. And we
Mhm.
can't because there's a lot of egos involved in all the different things. And I honestly, I literally stand and go, now I can't do stupid. If you want
Right.
to stay in the stupid,
Right.
fine, you stay there. But you're staying there by yourself.
And one thing that many people don't
Yeah,
realize is
I
that
get
when you try and fix something for somebody else or you try and fix somebody
Yeah.
else, that's ego.
Yeah. And you can't
right.
fix it. You just cannot
No.
fix it.
How
They
I
have
literally
to.
just posted today in Evolve and Emerge.
Mhm.
Fixing you
So
is not my job.
Right. And that is
And a lot of
exactly
them,
true because
unfortunately, don't want to fix anything. They actually thrive in those situations and whatever it is. And I can't do stupid. I
Mhm.
have to walk away. I can't.
I just want to say we have a few people in the chat saying
Hi.
hello and
And I
and
know
and
them.
hearts
Hi,
and
Carla and
kisses. Is that
Hathery. Thanks for
Heather? Yeah.
checking this
Yes.
out.
Um, no, I love that you say
Yes.
that because when you try to fix someone else, you rob them of their opportunity to learn their lesson.
Yeah.
This is the part of their work, and you're taking that
Right,
opportunity
right.
from them.
I mean, that's how I work
Um,
when I do
you know,
readings.
Right.
right.
I don't predict. If somebody
Never reader.
is testing me, I know it, and I ask
Mhm.
them
Mhm.
directly, lower your shields. I'm not here to be tested.
Yeah, they want a reading.
Right.
Why would you be testing someone? I mean, it's not whatever. I
Right.
I just can't. I just say I'm not interested right now or whatever. I walk away. I honestly have
Yeah.
zero
This is not the
tolerance
time.
anymore.
No.
I've just
I
reached
follow
that.
patterns,
Yeah.
and unless a decision has been made prior to them sitting down to the table that is going to
Mhm.
have a direct outcome that's already been decided. If
Right.
they've made that decision, if the wheels are already in motion, okay, then it'll be presented to me to say, all right, you can look forward to this. Otherwise, if you're looking to see if he's the one, she's going to cheat on you, if you're going to get the house, if you're going to get the job, I don't know,
Mhm.
maybe, possibly, yes. But as soon as you make a different decision and get up from my table and go somewhere else,
Yes.
it could change everything I just said. And I don't have insurance for that.
Right. Right.
Right. Right. Right. Exactly.
Because
That's what
that's just
yes.
human beings
So
in
true. And
general.
that's an important piece.
Mhm.
Mhm. So let me ask the question, what projects do you have coming up? What are you thinking about doing this year? I know you stay busy, so
I have a book that I
what
started
what things
last
are
year,
on the agenda? Hallelujah.
and I
Yeah,
still
tell
have to
us
finish
more.
it. It's got a couple
Yes,
chapters
Okay,
left.
it takes
working
a
on
lot. I'm
that.
trying to see what I can do. It takes a lot. That's all I know.
It,
It
it's
does.
it's at about 81 pages right now, I believe.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
That sounds
Fabulous.
great.
and it's called You're Addicted.
You're addicted?
Hmm.
Okay. Sounds good.
And it's
So
all
this
centered
is
around being addicted to misery, which was
Oh,
kind of
wow.
the
Okay.
basis of my
mm,
coaching when I first started.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. That's interesting. So, what
fabulous.
do you have any events that are coming up that you would like people to hear about? Because we'd love to share that with people as to what events that you have coming up this year.
And you
I
know,
honestly do not have any lined up just yet.
Yeah.
As of this conversation, no, I do not.
Well, you could have
Um,
come to Witches Fest, but I know you don't like coming into New York. But it would be nice.
I if I had somebody to actually go with,
Oh, okay. Okay.
then maybe.
we'll drag you out there sometime. Here, we've had such a
I would
great
love
we've been
to come back because I did have I had a good time that one time that I was able to go. I
Okay.
did have fun.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
then
That's
I dove into something that tried to rip my soul away for 6 years, and
that's not good.
that's
I'm
I was
away
just
from
gonna
that
say
now.
that.
I'm
That's
away
not
from that now.
Yeah,
awesome.
that's
Awesome.
not good.
Awesome.
We've been chit-chatting so much and doing all the things that I had not been scrolling, but I am scrolling now. So if people can grab your website, they can grab your Facebook group, either one, to reach you, to learn more and to get readings and to do all the things, to join your groups potentially, catch
Yes.
your shows.
Yes,
And
one thing
I
that I do have available that is absolutely free but it's only for Evolve and Emerge members. It's called the Phoenix
okay.
Fire Poll, and it's literally where you choose your own reading.
Oh,
Hmm. Send me a number from
so
1 to 5, either in the comments of the post or in private, with an email address. I send you the card, and it has the meaning of the card and some guide questions. And so far, every single person who has tried this has picked the card that they absolutely needed. And Hathery just said in the chat, 100% recommended because she's done
Okay.
that is
it.
awesome. Thank you all so much for joining us, Hathery and everybody else, because I can't see all the names in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And Micah, thank you for taking the time.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
I'm really excited.
it was a pleasure.
I'm excited to hear about your book also.
All
Yes, an
right.
absolute pleasure. So thank you.
Thank you. It made
And
my night to
now
be able to be here.
it is we're excited that you made the time to be here. Thank
Yes,
you.
that you showed up.
Exactly, that you showed up. Right on. We're going to share a little bit now with you guys about what's coming up this year at Witches Fest.
It's that time of year again, me pagan and witchy folks. The time for Witches Fest USA, a pagan fair where we all gather dressed as all the magical folks we love, like fays, elves, sprites, and more, with magical vendors, enchanting performers, and magical presenters of all kinds, past and traditions. You can come in person and spend the day on Astor Place in New York City and enjoy free workshops, vendors, presenters, a DJ, and live performances. For information and registration, go to www.witchesfestusa.org. That's www.witchesfestusa.org. Get caught up in the magic and enjoy.
Yay! That was so much fun with Micah.
Yes.
We are about to go into our next part of the show. I guess we need to do what? Talk about the stars?
All right. So we're gonna do the last part of the horoscope for the month of June. We're behind a little bit, but it's the last of them, so we wanted to finish it up. So your
Yes.
June horoscope says Jupiter in Cancer will make everything so much better. And this is the month we've all been waiting for. So let's begin with the last of them, Capricorn. Your June horoscope says that Jupiter is helping you find the one.
Mm-hmm.
Love is written in the stars. And Capricorn, the relationship you've been dreaming of is almost here because Jupiter's abundance energy will help you call in your soulmate. Although Jupiter is on your side, you will still have to prioritize finding love if you want to meet your life partner. Will you to make time for love this month? It's almost finished, but I hope you took some time to do that. You'll be on the go as your Capricorn horoscope for June 2025 catches up with Gemini season, bustling in your sixth house of work, health, and routine. Work and home was equally demanding as Venus had met with Jupiter on June 4th. Okay, and honestly, it may have felt too much to a bit too much to handle, but you may have carved out time for fun and romance when Venus had entered commitment-oriented Taurus on June 6th. I hope you did something there around that time. Who did you want to spend time with? Okay, who do you want to spend time with? Figuring out what you want before Mercury and Jupiter entered Cancer on June 8th and on June 9th should have helped you as well. Okay, the cosmic messenger and major benefit will become engrossed with your relationships. So put love first this summer, especially if you want a life partner. Okay, you may have to overcome mental limitations and attitudes during the full moon in Sagittarius that we just had on in June 11th, and go into this romantic cycle knowing it's your destiny to meet your soulmate this month. Now I'll tell you guys a little thing. Soulmates to me could be a friend as well, okay? So if you want a life partner, go for the life partner and take away. Yes, you want them to be your friend, but if you want it to be a life partner, say that instead of soulmate, okay? Just saying. Mid-June finds you worrying about your love, about how love could be possible given your romantic history as pessimistic Saturn and delusional Neptune corralled positive Jupiter from June 15th to June 18th. And despite feeling optimistic, the weight of reality combated your hopes and dreams for love. You will have to make a real effort to meet the one, which may happen once Cancer season begins, which began on June 20th. And luckily, you can start putting out feelers as Mercury intervenes with the North Node of Fate and South Node of Karma on June 21st. So that was just recently passed. And shortly after, your romantic beliefs will be tested as the Sun goes toe to toe with Saturn and Neptune. And although there might have been some uphill battles to fight, you have the stamina and willpower to find your mate. You could receive an unexpected yet welcome sign during the Jupiter Casimi on June 24th, which again just passed because we're at the 27th now. And let this be your sign to manifest the love you seek during the new moon in Cancer, which happened the 25th/26th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that new moon happened also when it goes into Cancer the very next day, which was on the 26th. But be clear about what you want in a partner and a relationship. Okay, because as you reach certain age in your life, you know your what you want changes. So make sure that when you write down what you want, you put the details of that. And also put on the other side who you really are right now in your life, presently. Not what you were in your past or what you were thinking of in the future, but who you are right now, presently. Okay. So that way you can see what it more clearly for both sides. By the end of June, will be an eye opening as Mercury speaks with Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto retrograde from June 27th to June 29th. Your self worth and self respect will be on your mind when you consider the entirety of your romantic history. Perhaps something happened between family members or in your younger years that you need to work through. And luckily, you can revisit the skeletons in your love closet once the post shadow period starts from Mercury retrograde on June 30th. So prepare yourself. July will reveal so much about your journey to find the one. Big celestial shifts are on the horizon, Capricorn. So the most important one pertains to the entrance of your planet, Saturn, to your home sector. While normally Saturn in this area of your life would mean and will mean establishing new foundations for yourself, the fact that the planet Neptune has recently entered the same area of your chart means that there will be a process of adjustment before those foundations can begin to be established. So you might notice this energy being especially strong at the end of the Gemini season. Okay? Luckily, you're bound to receive a lot of blessings in the area of your chart. Again, because we had mentioned all about June 9th and all of that back then. So, how, if you are partnered, you could reach a much deeper level of connection. And if you're not, there's a strong chance that you could find that person just in time, this perfect summer for you. And also into the next 12 months. Okay? All right. So, your luckiest Gemini season day was June 1st. Yeah, we know it passed already because that was when Venus conjunct Chiron and Aries. But that's okay. Today, a deep conversation or exchange with an important person in your life could lead to a deeply healing moment. Alternatively, you could also experience a new dimension of your sense of leadership, either in your private life or in your career. And let's go to your card. For the June 2025 tarot card for Capricorn is the Two of Wands. Okay? And
Yes.
this is the Two of Wands with my
Oh, pull it back. We can't see it.
Can you see
There
it
you
now?
go. Yes, now we
Okay.
can see it.
Okay. Capricorn, with the onset of Cancer season, your love life starts to blossom. See how much it's telling you about love for you, man?
Mm-hmm.
Like all the way through, it's discussing your love life and life partner. And this makes sense in June, according to your monthly tarot card. You start making plans for the future. You're standing at a crossroads right now, and two paths are set right before you. You can stay where you are or do something else to create more change in your life. And the Two of Wands will invite you to create an action plan that you want to follow for the rest of the year. What do you need to do to meet your goals? Think about that question, okay? What people, resources, or changes are necessary to take your current success to a new level and get the outcome that you want for this summer, okay?
That's
All right.
fabulous. Right on. Excellent. So now, Aquarius, your June horoscope says you're tapping into infinite possibilities. Without rain, there wouldn't be rainbows, and we get that. Aquarius, it's no secret that you've had many setbacks this year so far. Despite facing trials and tribulations, you have overcome everything standing in your way. June's cosmic forecast is set to inspire you to keep your head up since your life will become more beautiful and fulfilling when you make time for fun. Yes, we're wrapping up the month, but we want to go through the entire month that you've come through, okay? Have fun. Make June a priority for fun as your Aquarius horoscope for June 2025 finds Gemini season delighting your fifth house of joy, self expression, and creation. Make plans with your friends as Venus enthuses Jupiter on the 4th. So, if you think back to what you were doing earlier this month, the idea is making plans with your friends. Hopefully, you did do some of that work. Surround yourself with good people. Continue to surround yourself with good people from the beginning of the month all the way through. Venus entered the loyal sign of Taurus on June 6th, so the energy was appropriate for that. Exciting news may have come to you from chatty Mercury as benefic Jupiter on June 8th. Um, they met up at that point. You could run into someone who puts a smile on your face or have an opportunity to pursue a hobby. This happy moment could become part of your everyday life once Mercury and Jupiter enter Cancer, entered Cancer a few days later. Consider this your sign to make more time for your aspirations and friends during the full moon that we came through in Sagittarius on June 11th. Despite knowing good things were coming, there were still some struggles to be had by mid month. Negative Saturn and confusing Neptune were in a place where they could overthrow some optimistic Jupiter energy, and that could have thrown you off your game June 15th to the 17th. But remember that rainbows always come after the rain, as we mentioned earlier. So life should have seen a significant improvement once that Cancer season started on the 20th. Summer is finally here, so think positively about where life will take you. This is a season of infinite possibilities. So have a mind over matter mindset as action oriented Mars worked with benefic Jupiter and began that work on June 22nd. Know that you have the grace, stamina, and attitude to make the most of the beginning of Cancer season. There might be issues surrounding self worth and self respect as the sun tensely meets Saturn and Neptune over the next few days after that 22nd entrance. But call your power back during the Jupiter Kazemi, or if you needed to, on June 24th. The most important thing is to believe in yourself. You have more than you have more than you give yourself credit for, which will be evident with this new moon that we just came through yesterday. The new moon was rising in Cancer around 25th, 26th. So the end of June, where we're at now, will test your ability to think positively as Mercury meets up with Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto retrograde from today, the 27th, through the 29th. During this time, you'll have to control where your mind wanders throughout your days. Redirect any negative energies and thoughts and feelings to something more positive. Who you associate with will also make a difference in your happiness as Mercury retrograde's pre shadow period starts on the 30th. Hang out with upbeat individuals who inspire enthusiasm instead of people who kill the mood going into the next month. Yeah, drain. No.
Just
Let's
saying,
look at your
right?
tarot card. And I know this is going to be a challenge. And many people look at this card and they're like, oh, but I actually enjoy, I like this card, the
Yes,
Three
yes,
of
yes.
Swords, because there's a whole lot more than what we typically understand. But the Three of Swords is your card for the month, Aquarius. Aquarius in June, things start to be less intense once Mars leaves Leo and enters Virgo. Mars and Leo brought tension to your relationships, especially your love life and commitments. Also, you learn from your monthly tarot card for June that you cannot please everyone. So in June, don't try to. Don't try to. Not everyone will see things as you see them, Aquarius. When you start to feel good about your life, you may discover that some people aren't ready for you to change into a different person. June comes with peer pressure, and knowing that your partner, friends, or family members are trying to pull you back into old ways can hurt your heart. A part of you may feel let down or unsupported. You may even feel like a traitor or have betrayed their you may even feel like a traitor or that you have betrayed their memory of you. These feelings can be conflicting and cause a range of negative emotions, including self doubt. Rather than change back to who you were to appease others, you will want to solidify your resolve to live on your terms.
Yeah.
People who love you will continue to love you. Some may love you, but you may decide they should do so with less involvement day to day. Basically, they can stay out of your business. Okay.
There you go. There you go.
Right on.
Okay, so Pisces, the last on in the charts. Okay.
Hmm.
Your June horoscope wants you to live your best life and ignore the haters because they're going to be there anyways. Who cares what other people think?
Right on.
Pisces, June is the month to start living your best life. Doing you requires emotional maturity, authenticity, and confidence. You might cross paths with haters who don't get your vibe or lifestyle, but luckily, you'll also meet like-minded companions to cheer you up on and encourage you to stop caring about what other people think. Please take heed.
Mhm.
Tell them kick rocks. Come out
Yes.
of, I'm sorry, but come out of your shell as your Pisces horoscope for June 2025 finds Gemini season bouncing off the walls of your fourth house of home, family, and personal life. And that happened at the beginning of the first week when Mars um, was rousing chatty Mercury on June 5th. So, and then it had you start making plans with your friends and committing to local events as Venus entered Taurus a day later. And you won't have felt listless when you know there are things to do and people to see, places to go. A big
Mhm.
revelation regarding private matters unfolded when expansive Jupiter gossiped with talkative Mercury on June 8th. But that's okay. You could hear shocking information regarding your living situation or family members. Again, don't worry. This might be a catalyst that you've been waiting for as Mercury and Jupiter entered Cancer over the next day or so. Exalted Jupiter will make your life blossom again with love, whimsy, and new beginnings. And you may have an accomplishment or a milestone to kick off this celebratory cosmic energy during the full moon that happened in Sagittarius on June 11th. Warm wishes and praise will help you feel confident in your destiny. Mid June, which presented a few setbacks to your otherwise positive vibration. And you may have had unexpected clashes over the work, health, and routine, which might have thrown you off as Mars argued with Uranus on June 15th. But you could feel insecure with your recent choices as Jupiter butt heads with Saturn and Neptune over the next few days. But somehow someone may have even criticized how you live your life or what you do with your family. Please ignore them. Again, tell them kick rocks.
Mhm.
Okay. Continue enjoying your life as Cancer season begins June 20th. A close confidant will support your ideas and whims, giving you the confidence to tap into the carefree summertime energy that's playing off. Join forces with a confidant who has your back as Mars pairs off with Jupiter around June 22nd. And you'll be thankful to have someone by your side since you may face heavy criticism. Again, ignore them. The sun will be
Mhm.
chastised by Saturn and Neptune, causing you to wonder what you've done to deserve such harsh feedback. Misery love company, okay? So cut off these individuals to feel confident in your pleasures during the Jupiter Chasm around June 24th, which I hope you did. Get rid of some of them, okay? Set the
Mhm.
intention to keep enjoying your life under the new moon in the Cancer the next day, which was the 25th, 26th, and have faith that the next 6 months will align you with fun loving, joyful companions. At the end of June, will help you find a like minded community that shares your interests and goals in decisive Mars as decisive Mars motivates spunky Uranus and a personable Sun on June 26th. And you should feel free to talk about your recreational activities, your passions, and more, as Mercury relates to Saturn, Neptune, Pluto retrograde, and over the next few days.
Mm.
And as you go into July, confident in your outlets and amusements, to offset potential insecurities during the pre shadow period of a Mercury retrograde, over the next 12 months, the more efforts you invest in manifesting the romantic life of your dreams, the closer you will be in achieving it all. Okay.
Mm, mm.
And it's past already, but your luckiest Gemini season day was June 11th on the full moon. And hey, I hope you did something cool for yourself.
Mhm.
Being a fated lunar event, that lunar event would put you face to face with people who are coming into your life for a very specific reason. Alternatively, you could either land or finish a work related project on that good note. Okay. So, some things around that time, and I'm sure you can be able to tell yourself what occurred. Your card was the Five of Cups. Can you see it better?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. Five of Cups, Pisces. Okay. So your June 2025 tarot card, Pisces, during the month of June, you discover your passion and purpose with Mars entry into your house of commitments. Your monthly tarot card also brings a need for change. So it's the perfect time of the year to consider what adjustments you have to make to do things that you love. And you're midway through the year and life looks different from how it was in January. Change can be exciting and scary, but don't hate it, even if you may wonder if you're where you ought to be. The Five of Cups reveals sadness and loss, and you will experience growing pains as you move further away from your old life and start a new one. But that's what you've got to do, grow and evolve. So you may see how certain areas of life will fall apart, and it hurts your heart to see it work out that way. But this is how success work, right? Sometimes what's not working has to reveal itself quickly so you can, fortify the weak spots and strengthen them. Permit yourself to grieve losses and use those moments to learn and grow from them. Okay. And you'll step into a reality in July where you learn how grit is essential to this year's success. You're going to need it. So allow
Yes.
yourself to be there. Okay. All
Right
right.
on.
Yes.
Time to pull a card.
Yes. 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 All right, Han. So what are we pulling? What are we putting our card on today?
So, well, we just came out of this new moon, right? We just came out of this new moon.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my goodness. So I mean, I know new moons are all about and this is our new moon in Cancer, right? Because it's our
Yeah. I got to pull
yeah,
out
new
my
moon
new
in
moon thing
Cancer.
that I did for it. Yeah.
Um
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
no, but it's also, and I know Cancer's all emotions and all the lovely dovey. I'm going to, I would like us to do a check-in, and that we do I'd like us to do a check-in. We're asking ourselves with this single card draw, what is the emotional support we need this year? This year, what is the emotional support we need to give to ourselves? So if you have your cards handy, go ahead and pull those out. And again, we're pulling one card just to look at what's the emotional support we need to give to ourselves right now this
Mm.
month.
Hmm. Okay. So what have you got, young lady?
I have the Two of
Wow.
Wands, and I'm
Yes.
working with the Modern Witch Tarot again, one of my
Okay.
favorite, Lisa Sterl's deck. Two of Wands, and what does that suggest to me? Wands is the fire, and twos are, we need to make some decisions about direction. So emotionally, this is really about I'm going to say where the decisions I need to make about what is going to bring me excitement. And I am a water sign. I have a lot of water in my chart. Fire is the thing that I am truly always actively trying to obtain, that little spark. So for me, it's about what do I need to emotionally tend to right now? What needs a little extra zhuzh? It's really about the direction of my passion. Where do I want to take the things that are truly going to feed my heart but make me happy and excite me? that's what needs a little extra attention right now. I can understand that. I can
Yeah.
understand that.
And it's so funny because I was looking at it going, yours is different, but yet similar to mine because guess what? I've got the chariot. And
Oh, I love the
to me,
chariot.
that is similar to yours in the sense of it feels like I have two different paths that I'm being
Mm,
kind of, tug of war with.
mhm.
Um, and I'm in the middle there going, okay, so which way should I go? And I know directly where I want to go. I know what I want. It's just a matter
Right.
of the finances for it because it's getting higher and higher,
Oh,
unfortunately, for what I want. Um, Prices are getting higher, interest rates are getting higher, and I'm just like,
yeah. Yep.
So it's kind of like, okay, do you want to really go down this path or do you want to change? I'm not changing. I just have to figure out how to finagle things a little bit differently. And that's
Right.
there's a tug of war there. Um, and,
Yeah.
and I just have to figure out how to make things work and still get my outcome of what I want. Um,
Right.
but again, it was interesting because the two of wands for you,
Exactly.
two different choices. Mine is two different paths.
Yes.
And it's just, I mean, again, we don't
It's
choose these cards ahead of time. They just,
no.
and
Exactly.
and emotionally speaking, I know where my emotions lie, and I know what I want, and
Yes.
and I'm going to make it happen one way or the
Yes.
other. I
Right
have to.
on. No,
It's just,
I
I wish I had made the decision. I wish I had gotten it already, but such is life, you
it's
know.
okay.
Um,
Well,
but it
there's
is what
always
it is.
yep.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
persist. We persist.
So, our guest next week would be for Tula Adrimi. And
Yay.
and Rhonda and I would like to say thank you to everyone in the chat tonight, and thank you to our
Yes.
guest, Mika Grant.
Micah. Yes.
Is it sorry, Micah?
Micah.
Micah,
Yes.
right? Micah
Micah.
Grant for being with us here tonight. It was such a pleasure, and I can't wait to see him again in person because he told me that I met him a few years ago. So I'd like to meet him again in person.
Yes.
And what else can we do here?
But can please like, subscribe, and share. Please do. Any
Yes,
comments, any recommendations on other people, guests you'd like us to interview, please do share that with us also, whether on Facebook or on YouTube. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank
have
you.
a wonderful night and see you guys
Have a
next week.
See you next week, everyone.